Today, we're going to talk about a massive win in the world of sports and outdoor gear. We're looking at a company that just saw its revenue jump an incredible 30% in a single quarter. But who are we talking about? You might be surprised.
So take a look at these names. Arc'teryx, Salomon, Wilson, Atomic. These are household names if you climb, run, ski, or play tennis. You'd think they're all competing against each other, right? But what if I told you they're actually not?
Yep, they are all part of one single global powerhouse, Amer Sports. And in this breakdown, we're going to look at their latest performance, which was honestly nothing short of championship level. And here it is. This is the headline number. In just their most recent quarter, Amer Sports grew their revenue by a staggering 30%. That's not just a win, my friends. That's a blowout victory. This wasn't just, a good quarter. This was a statement. They completely smashed what everyone was expecting, showing that whatever their game plan is, it is absolutely working. So how'd they do it? Let's meet the star players on the team. Every great team has its superstars, and Amer Sports is no different. Their whole business is really broken down into three main segments, and each one has its own incredible story this quarter. First up, we've got the veteran powerhouse of the group, Technical Apparel, which is led by Arc'teryx. What's so interesting here is just how consistent they are. Look at this growth over the last year. It's just strong and steady. This is really the bedrock of the entire team. And it's easy to see why. Arc'teryx has become so much more than just an outdoor brand. It's a full-blown cultural icon. Thanks to that whole gorpcore trend, you're just as likely to see it on a fashion runway as you are on a mountaintop. And the numbers, they're just wild. Revenue up 31% to over $680 million. But the real story here, the key takeaway, is that 46% growth in their direct-to-consumer channel. You'll hear that term, DTC, a lot. It just means they're selling directly to you and me, cutting out the middleman, building a stronger connection, and, making more money. Okay, on to our next player. Let's call this one the rising star. Outdoor Performance, led by Salomon. Their strategy is fascinating. They're making this huge, intentional pivot from being just a ski equipment company to being a major force in footwear and apparel. And look at this. It's projected to be almost 3/4 of their entire business by next year. That's a huge shift. And this isn't just some idea on a PowerPoint slide, They are really doing it. They're opening these sleek, new flagship stores in big cities, making a really bold statement that their shoes belong on the city streets just as much as they do on the mountain trails. And the results? Absolutely explosive. Revenue shot up 36%, and their direct-to-consumer channel grew by an unbelievable 67%. Salomon footwear is just on fire right now, making them a true MVP for the team. So to round out our starting lineup, we have the trusted veteran, the ball and racket division. And as you can see from the chart here, after a couple of solid, if quieter quarters, their momentum is really starting to pick back up, accelerating to 16% growth. And this whole segment is anchored by one of the most iconic names in all of sports, Wilson. Their legacy of trust and innovation is it's a huge part of Amer Sports' overall success. So what's driving this new energy? Well, a big part of it is something they call their Wilson Tennis 360 initiative. It's all about creating a more complete, more engaging experience for tennis players. It just goes to show you that even a brand with a long history can keep innovating and stay right at the top of its game. All right, so we've met the star players. Now, let's take a look at the field of play. Where in the world is Amer Sports putting up these huge numbers? The short answer is pretty much everywhere. Let's start on their home turf. Here in the Americas, Amer Sports put up a really strong 18% revenue growth. That shows you their brands are still hitting home in a big established market. Now, let's hop across the Atlantic. The story gets even better. Over in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, that growth accelerated to an impressive 23%. So their game plan is clearly working on the international stage. But hold on, because this is the real jaw-dropper. Just look at these numbers coming out of Asia. Greater China, up 47%. The rest of the Asia-Pacific region, up a massive 54%. This isn't just growth, folks. This is a regional takeover. Asia is the absolute powerhouse fueling this whole championship run. So, what is the secret sauce to all this global success? It's right here.
It's that focus on selling directly to consumers, that DTC strategy we talked about. I mean, their wholesale business grew by a very healthy 18%, but their DT sales, they skyrocketed by 51%. That's the engine.
A 30% growth quarter is just incredible. But you know how it is in sports? You're only as good as your next game. So what does this massive win actually mean for the company's future?
Well, it means the team is feeling confident. In fact, they're so confident that they've actually raised their financial goals for the entire year. They're now telling everyone they expect to grow revenue by up to 24%, with their two biggest stars, technical apparel and outdoor performance, leading the charge.
And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from their CFO, Andrew Page, really sums it all up perfectly. He talks about this strong second leg, that's Salomon, adding to Arc'teryx's already amazing performance. It's a powerful 1-2 punch that's lifting up the whole company. So, that leaves us with the big question. With their all-star lineup absolutely hitting its stride, with a global strategy that's clearly working, and with competence just soaring, can Amer Sports keep up this incredible championship pace? I guess we'll just have to tune in next quarter to find out. Thanks for watching.